One morning, as the people eagerly awaited the Buddha's discourse, they were surprised to see him holding a rope. Without uttering a word, Buddha took his seat and began tying knots in the rope. After tying 3 knots, he asked the gathered crowd, "Is this the same rope as before, or has it changed?" One follower cautiously responded, "It's difficult to answer. It depends on our perspective. From one viewpoint, the rope remains the same. It hasn't changed. But from another perspective, it now has 3 knots, signifying change. However, it's worth noting that despite the external appearance, its essence remains unchanged." Buddha smiled and acknowledged the disciples' observation, affirming the truth in their words. He then proceeded to untie the knots, pulling the ends of the rope in opposite directions. While doing so, he inquired, "Can these knots be untied by pulling them like this?" Another follower replied, "No, pulling them like that would only tighten the knots further, making it more difficult to untangle them." Buddha nodded and asked his final question, "Then tell me, what must we do to untie these knots?" The follower replied, "To untie the knots, we must closely examine them, understand how they were tied, and then attempt to untangle them." Buddha expressed his satisfaction, stating, "That is precisely what I wanted to hear." Many people seek solutions to their problems without questioning the root causes. Instead of asking why they become angry, they ask how to eliminate anger. Instead of inquiring about the origins of their ego, they seek ways to eradicate it. He continued, drawing the analogy. Just as a rope retains its fundamental nature despite being tied in knots, the inherent goodness within humans does not perish due to temporary disorder. Just as we can untie knots in a rope, we can also unravel human problems. It is essential to understand that where there is life, there will be problems, and where there are problems, there will also be solutions. To find those solutions, we must deeply comprehend the causes of the problems. This story teaches us the importance of addressing the root causes of our problems, rather than merely seeking superficial solutions. By understanding the origins of our struggles and challenges, we can work towards untangling them and finding genuine resolutions. Just as knots can be unraveled with patience and understanding, so too can our difficulties be overcome by delving into their underlying causes. This is the angel's wisdom. Don't forget to inspire others and make life meaningful.